Hello, my name is Jayla Robinson, and I am a licensed professional counselor contracted with the Army National Guard, and this is my colleague, Jamie Cole. Today we have Sgt Norman here with us. We'll be talking a bit about the 4 pillars of resiliency, and I'm actually going to give her a chance to talk a bit more about who she is here with the airmen and what she does to help our servicemen and women. Sgt Norman.
All right. Hi. So Sergeant Norman, I work at the headquarters Air National Guard. I'm considered an MPMA, which is Military Personnel Management Assistant or Administrator. So basically, there's a lot that goes into my job, but to sum it up, is I act almost kind of as a liaison between the National Guard Bureau and the wings in our state, 188th and the 189th. In addition to, we kind of assist with any headquarters directives and things like that, and we function with the other personnel entities within the wing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your time. Janie, would you like to?
Yeah. So kind of like what we were talking about before when we were preparing for this conversation, you were sharing with us that the Air Force has its own model of resilience, and those are the 4 pillars. Can you share with us a little bit about that model?
Sure, absolutely. So the 4 pillars that we're taught in the Air National Guard and the Air Force in whole are spiritual, physical, mental, and social. Some of the ways that we implement those in my life, I can give you examples of each.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, for instance, physical. So a lot of the times when I'm stressed, I have a huge family at home. I have a family of 6, so 4 boys.
Oh my.
So it's a lot. And sometimes when I just kind of feel like I'm so stressed out, I can't think straight, I'm upset, I go for a run. I love to run. And I will, and that seems to kind of almost clear my head where I can kind of think of ways and, to handle maybe stressful situations. So social, obviously friends are important. So making sure that you have your wingmen, or even a mentor is so important to, be able to vent or share your frustrations and just to kind of get that all off your chest so it's not weighing you down every day. Let's see, so we have physical, social, so mental. So I think that mental health is so important, and that's where you can kind of integrate those 4 pillars in a sense to just make sure that you're staying healthy, that you know your resources within the wing, your family readiness centers, your chaplains, even you have mental health professionals within the wings too that can help. And so here at headquarters, right, so we kind of are almost as a geographically separated unit. So we have to rely a lot on the 189th wing, and so just knowing our resources there at Little Rock Air Force Base is important too. So I covered physical, social, so spiritual. Spiritual is so important no matter what entity you, if you worship or what you do as far as spiritual goes. I think that that's important to kind of have that in your daily life. And so I'm not extremely spiritual, but I do sometimes pray, and I make sure that, we go to church and we, learn our Bibles and things like that, but just kind of figuring out how to integrate that in your daily life too is important. So
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I love that you guys have this holistic model of health, so it's not just physical health and it's not just emotional health or just one piece of it. You're combining it and saying that all of these things affect each other.
right,
Yeah, that's so great.
and they all kind of like play into each other, and sometimes you can even combine the two, so like obviously physical and social, or things like that. So
Yeah. Do you find that there's a lot of support from maybe the Air National Guard as a whole, or maybe individual wings or like units, to do just that, to connect outside of the drill status?
right, and I think that maybe in the past that's something that the Guard as a whole struggled with, is making sure that we're out connecting to what we call our drill status guardsmen, and making sure that they're feeling a part of the unit. And so sometimes, and that's something that's important for people who are out here full time to know, is that our primary mission are our drill status guardsmen. They're so important to make sure that you stay connected with them and that you know that you let them know that they have that support. And I think that that's something that over time, just me being in the Guard, I've noticed a change, and that's not highly encouraged, but that's something that most commanders and leaders are striving to do to make sure that everybody feels included.
Mm-hmm.
And so in your position, how do you do that for airmen who are underneath you?
So I typically make sure that I reach out to them often. If I'm not doing it daily, I'm doing it weekly, just to make sure that they're okay, making sure that if I know significant, events are happening within their life, I make sure that I'm reaching out and making sure that they don't need anything, just kind of making sure that they know that they can reach out to me for anything, and just kind of opening that communication between me and them.
Yeah, transparency is key, and I think that when you show an interest, a genuine interest, and a willingness to actually offer support, people are a lot more inclined to take you up on that. So I think that's actually a really exceptional, proactive step that you're taking to kind of help people feel more included and things to feel more inclusive.
Right, and there's, we do little things here at headquarters. Like, we have a group me that we push information out on. We push out monthly newsletters to let our DSGs know, the big items that are happening every month and things that they can be aware of. In addition to, there are definitely there's definitely open communication between, your full-time members and your drill status guardsmen.
That's so important. Well, thank you again. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to sit down and talk with us. As you know, the whole point behind this is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we really think that by having these conversations and getting people to talk about mental health and just to know that there are resources out there and that, we all care collectively as a unit, that those things are available will help so much in the long run. And I wonder if you could share with us just briefly, are there specific resources for Air National Guard soldiers for mental health? So I know we have things like Military One Source or these kinds of programs that are designed to cover the force as a whole, so regardless of component. But I wonder if there's anything specific for Air National Guard soldiers.
So Air National Guard soldiers, we have, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, we have our Airmen Family Readiness Centers.
Yes.
So those are kind of like our specialists within the wing that are aware, and even items that maybe me and you or me and other airmen don't know about, they know about, and that's what they do is they kind of push that information out to those airmen so that they're aware of certain resources that they may have. So we share a lot of the same resources that the Army has, I guess, in a sense.
Yes.
Definitely different, though. It's it's the same but different. And I mean, the best resource I can tell you, if you're not familiar with everything, is to talk to the Airmen Family Readiness.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
They help you with school benefits. They help you with medical benefits. If you're struggling, they definitely know resources within the community, too, that can assist with anything that you need.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. One of the themes that I've noticed throughout all of these conversations that we've been having with people is that communication is really that central piece.
Right.
And, regardless of Air National Guard, Army National Guard, or heck, even if you're, a Marine or in the Navy or whatever, just telling somebody that you need help, and then, even if they don't know what the resource is, maybe they know someone who does.
Right.
But speaking up is that first step. So thank you again for just kind of driving that home for us.
Sure, and I mean, I know I didn't mention the chaplains, but those are also a great resource within the wing to use as well. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely drives home that pillar of spirituality.
Right.
Sure. Thank you again so much for your time.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.